My memo today is a letter from Denmark. I recently visited the Scandinavian country for studies, and a few things that I witnessed come to mind. But first, let me start here at home. As a country, we are witnessing biting drought and famine as over 4 million Kenyans face starvation. Rains have not been witnessed in some areas for more than 5 years now, and the erratic weather patterns have left many farmers confused about the seasons. The climate crisis has been blamed for the unpredictable weather patterns. In recent years, the climate emergency, as it is now called, has been gaining more focus across the world as its effects on day-to-day life become more apparent. The 27th Annual United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP27, gets underway in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, next month. The theme this year is Delivering for the People and the Planet. The conference aims to deliver action on an array of issues critical to tackling the climate emergency. This includes reducing greenhouse gas emissions and delivering commitments to finance climate action in developing countries, or loss and damage as it is known. Now, in Denmark, since the 1970s, when the country realized that they depended 99.9% on oil from the Middle East, it has been putting in place efforts to deal with some of these issues with tremendous success. For instance, it is the first country in the world to have a Ministry of Environment. And since 1990, Denmark has reduced greenhouse emissions by 43% and has set a target of further taking that number to 70% and then to net zero by 2050, meaning zero emissions. And they are well on their way to achieving those targets. And what I realized was that nothing is wasted. To help reduce carbon emissions, almost everyone uses bicycles as the main mode of transport. Out of 5.8 million people in Denmark, there are over 4 million bicycles. And those who have vehicles mostly use electric ones. The country also depends on wind power and solar for electricity. They have green parks in different parts of the cities as they put effort to plant trees and other greenery even on the rooftops of city buildings. Waste is a resource in Denmark. Garbage is collected and sorted into 8 different types of waste at the household level before recycling. Waste is also used as a source of energy to heat homes during the cold season and for hot waters for families to use. I was amazed to hear that body heat from people in crowded places like theaters is collected and used during the cold months to heat buildings. 62% of land in Denmark is under agriculture, and the country produces 3 times the food it needs to feed its people. The agricultural methods used are those that are neither harmful to the soil nor the atmosphere. And yes, they are able to put all these efforts because their basic needs have already been met, unlike in most developing countries like Kenya. However, what was intriguing for me was that subsequent administrations in Denmark since the 1970s have stuck with the plan. It did not matter which leader took over, the set goals had to be met, and all efforts were put towards this. Now, as Kenya joins other countries at the COP27, one of the issues that our country will want discussed is that of loss and damage. Kenya is among countries that are calling on the developed nations to provide assistance that can help address the loss and damage caused by climate change. And for a long time, the proposals by these vulnerable nations have been rebuffed. But this is one of the main issues that will be focused on during the conference. But as the leaders meet and discuss at that high level, locally, the biting drought, hunger and suffering need urgent and long-term solutions. The climate crisis is here with us, and efforts should be put to try and tackle it at all levels, among the leadership and also by the people themselves. And that is my memo.